Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank, where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder. As you may or may not know, today actually marks the beginning of the new season, Season 8 for BattleSpot. Every couple of months, the BattleSpot rankings reset, so we'll be starting all the way back at 1500. Last season, I ended up with an overall rating of 1800 plus, I think it was 1803, which was nice, but this season I'll be aiming to go for that 1900 goal, which I set for myself. Regardless, though, I can't thank you guys enough for the support you've been showing for the series the last month or so. Today's actually the 31st episode, so it's basically been a month since I started the series. The support has been overwhelming. I've had so much fun doing it, and I feel like I'm improving as I go along, and I'm learning a lot. So thank you guys for showing your support and for watching my videos every day, and I really hope, it helps you guys out as well. I think it's a great learning experience for both myself and for you all, so thanks a ton. In addition, a lot of you guys have been asking about, the individual Pokemon analyses, Pokemon guides, etc. Have no fear, they will be coming very soon. This week in school was really busy since it was actually the last week of first semester senior year. So I'll basically be a second semester senior next week, and that should mean I should have more time to, work on stuff in terms of Pokemon content. And the Thunderous guide should be coming out this weekend. I have a team building guide I'm hoping to get out this weekend as well. And in addition, there's actually like 3 or 4 different new series I want to start up on the channel, one at a time, but I'm going to be announcing them very soon. And it's going to be really fan interactive as well. So I can't wait for you guys to hear more about it. I'll be announcing it soon when I'm ready to. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Anyway, today we're going to jump in. Obviously, rating reset all the way back into 1500 with the team of Hydreigon, Bisharp, Terrakion, Gengar, Mega Salamence, and Clefable, which is the newest addition to this team. So I've been using the rest for a while, as Tony from Mexico with a rating of 1426 is going to be our first opponent of the day. But yeah, I've been using this team for a long time, and I'm actually going to be doing a team analysis on it. By a long time, I mean a week or so, but I had a Moongus over Clefable, so I think Clefable's a really interesting VGC 2015 mon. I picked up popularity after Angel Miranda won a Premier Challenge with it, and Angel's a really good friend of mine, an excellent team builder, and a bunch of other notable players like Simon Yip and Patrick Donegan have used it as well. So it's really good because of the redirection support, and now that it's Fairy type, you can redirect Dragon type attacks away to nothing, and paired with Mega Salamence, it's really powerful. I'll actually link Angel's winning Premier Challenge in the description below. I had Salamence, Terrakion, Bisharp, Clefable, I think Bisharp, or excuse me, not Bisharp, I already said that one, Rotom Heat, and some Swampert, yeah, so it's a really interesting team, you'll probably want to check it out. Anyway, let's get into this match. Tony here has got a team of Rotom Heat, Exploud, Florges, Aggron, Breloom, and Sock, so I really don't know what to expect, honestly. It just seems like a compilation of random Pokemon, and Tony's rating was really low, or 1428, obviously not the highest, so don't know what to expect, honestly. I think I'm just going to play it safe. I'll lead with Gengar, which can shut down the Breloom immediately. I'm going to lead with Mence to intimidate his, physical type attackers. Bisharp in the back to check the Florges. For the last one, I'm thinking Hydreigon. Or Terrakion, both are pretty tempting. I'm actually gonna go Terrakion. It just can hit harder with close combat. My opponent doesn't really have ways to deal with close combat, so should be an interesting match. And of course, since I am starting with a bit lower rating, I might be playing a couple matches in between just to get my rating higher up. So of course, the matches are higher quality when you get matched up with typically higher rated opponents. So just letting you guys know, I might be playing some games in between. But Florges and Breloom coming out for my opponent here against my Salamence and Gengar, and Florges actually looking real nice there. So Intimidate here is going to be nice, but it's actually not going to do anything due to the Florges abilities. So definitely an interesting lead matchup here. Honestly, I just want to Sludge Bomb Florges so I can Earthquake Sludge Bomb the next turn, but I'm scared of Breloom going for a Spore. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna Taunt Breloom and Mega Evolve and Protect here. Like, I really don't know what to expect, but if the team is, using standard stats, Florges is potentially going to Moonblast Salamence, and Breloom's going to Spore the Gengar. At least that's what I would do if I were using those leads, but, you never know when you see Pokemon like these. So, I'm going to make the safer play here. I do get the Taunt off, which of course is going to be nice. It does go for the Spore, so I do call that correctly, and it is Spore Moonblast, so, good that I made that call. So I'm just gonna Sludge Bomb Florges, and I'm not sure how much, how defensive it is, so I'm just gonna double up into it with the Sludge Bomb and Double Edge. This Breloom is absolutely useless right now. It can't touch Gengar. Really can't touch either of my Pokemon. You know, it's fighting grass, and it's rare for it to carry moves other than, you know, Mach Punch and Bullet Seed or whatnot. So, I'm perfectly fine doubling up on the bigger threat right now, which of course is Florges. And Breloom is going to switch out, so that's perfectly fine. As the Aggron comes in, that should be interesting. I'm wondering if it's Mega Aggron. As Gengar is going to get the Sludge Bomb off here. Let's see how much damage it does. Yeah, I'm glad I went for the Double Edge, because there's no way Earthquake would have KO'd that. So, Double Edge here should pick up the KO on Florges, and should bring it into my favor, as it does. With the crit there. I don't think it was necessary, though, given that I'm adamant with max attack. So, pick up the knockout there. Gonna take some recoil damage, but go up 4-3, which is really good. My opponent hasn't done really any damage to me yet, so definitely a really good start to a battle, as Breloom's gonna come back in. Which is fine, because I can just taunt it once again. Which is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna taunt it. Let's see what I've got in the back. Terrakion and Bisharp. So I'm going to want to knock out the Breloom as quickly as possible, so I'm just going to Earthquake here. I could go for a Dragon Dance, but really it's not necessary. At this point, I can get a lot of damage off immediately anyway. I don't want to Double Edge Breloom because most Brelooms carry Focus Sash, and I don't want to take too much recoil damage right now. As it actually goes for the Mach Punch, predicting my taunt, so interesting play there. And it is Mega Aggron, so that means I can freely Will-O-Wisp it the following turn. And be perfectly fine. Salamence here is going to get an EQ. I am curious as to how much it does to Aggron since it's so defensively bulky. Oh, takes out like a champ. But I do break the potential Focus Sash there. So he goes for a Heavy Slam onto the Gengar. Okay, interesting. It's going to bring me down to 1 HP. And bring me down to my Focus Sash. But now that the Breloom is taunted, I can freely Will-O-Wisp the Aggron. And I'm actually yeah, I'm just going to go for the Double Edge onto Breloom. Because, like I said, it is the threat to the Terrakion and Bisharp, which I've got in the back. Once that Breloom's down, it can't Mach Punch anymore, and then Terrakion and Breloom just have a fine job. Though I did end up bringing 4 physical type attackers against the Aggron, which, you know, might not always be the best of decisions, but that's fine because here it's going to get burned, rendering it basically useless. Mega Aggron's just really not solid, if you ask me. I think it's one of the worst Megas in VGC, and no one really used it in 2014 at all. You know, there's always niche roles to fill, but I don't know. I don't think it's very solid. So I pick up the KO there on Breloom. So it goes for Toxic. Okay. Which is even better for me because Gengar just stays around for a turn longer. So, you know, 4-2 my favor now as Aggron is burned as well. So, really regardless of what my opponent has in the back, this should be game. But we'll see. We'll see. As Sock comes out. Okay. So, that is a scarier Pokemon to deal against, that's for sure. Let's see. I'm gonna Icy Wind here to break any potential Focus Sash, and I'm just gonna Double Edge it. It might be Scarf, but I don't know. Even if it is, like, Terrakion and Bisharp end up winning anyway. Although I guess that was a kind of careless play because, well, if it were Scarf, it'd have to lock itself into like an attack like Ice Punch. So I'm actually fine, and there really wasn't much my opponent could even do. It's not going to be faster, so I'm just going to be able to outspeed it and KO it. So 4-1 now, as the last one is Mega Aggron. Definitely not the most competitive of matches, but like I said, that's probably what you're going to expect in the beginning of the ladder. So I do have to apologize for that, but I'm hoping that I'm going to be getting higher quality opponents in the future as we continue to climb up on the ladder. Mega Aggron at least picks up a KO there against Gengar, but now Terrakion can come in for free and just close combat. But this Aggron is so defensively bulky. But yeah, once again, I mean, like, I think for most Megas, I've seen, even, you know, some less common ones, I've seen it to used well before. I've really never seen Aggron used well on a VGC team once, but of course there's always the first, so you never know. I'm just going to close combat and, you know, just Double Edge. There's really no other move needed. Close combat here should knock it out, I think. Oh my gosh, Aggron is so bulky. See, it's bulky, but it's just not doing anything, which is why I don't think it's very strong. You know, if you're a Mega Evolution, you should be able to do out consistent damage. I think I crit there with that Double Edge. Oh, not even. So, picking up the KO there, and a 3-0 quick win here for the first game of the very first game of the new season. So, good game, Tony, and we'll be looking for our second opponent. So, yeah, there really wasn't much there to say. I think just going for the safe Spore Protect on the first turn really dictated the course of the match. You know, against teams like that where you don't know what to expect, you should always just assume the worst and make the best plays possible, and it definitely helped out here. So, I'm gonna pick a, you know, get a pretty quick game 1 win here, but, so we continue to try to climb up. So, 15-13. And I don't know, let me know what you guys want to see. Would you rather see me just climb up the, every match I do on Battle Spot, or would you rather have me play some games in between, get some wins in so I can have higher rated opponents? So let me know in the comments below. Jordan's going to be my second opponent of the day with the rating of 1498. It's also a sub 1500 player with a team of Talonflame, Sableye, Gardevoir, Luxray, Ninetales, and Gallade. So once again, a bunch of wacky Pokemon, that's for sure. You don't see Ninetales too often in VGC, though interestingly enough, it was actually on Angel Miranda's team that he used this past weekend. So definitely check out his team in his blog. I'll link it in the description below. Luxray is interesting. I've not seen that used competitively since Diamond and Pearl, so it's been a while there. Clefable here really helps out because it can actually just one-hit KO the Sableye with Moonblast, which is what I'm running. It can also redirect all attacks away, which of course is always really good, so definitely going to want to bring that in here. Terrakion can do a lot of work against my opponent's team as well. I guess the main fear here is the Gardevoir. Outside of Gardevoir, Salamence really destroys the team. And the only thing Gardevoir can really do, obviously, is Moonblast, but Moonblasts are always scary. So I'm going to go with Gengar and Clefable to try to bait the Gardevoir out and pick up a KO on it, or I can just Icy Wind Will-O-Wisp regardless. There's really not much my opponent can even do against a Gengar and Clefable to start off with. I'm going to have Salamence in the back, of course, just because it's really strong against my opponent's entire team, especially the Gallade, which is definitely a potential Mega. And for the last one, I'm thinking I'm going to go with Bisharp because I can Sucker Punch everything to oblivion. Though Terrakion is tempting as well. Bisharp gives me a better matchup against Gardevoir, so, yeah, I'm going to go with Bisharp. I can also Sucker Punch Gallade, whereas Terrakion can't really do much against it. So, should be interesting. Playing against these Pokemon is always kind of scary because, with the more standard teams, kind of what's coming your way, but with Pokemon like these, they're always kind of surprises, but that's the fun of VGC, seeing newer stuff. So I'm going to go with Gengar and Clefable here against Sableye and Ninetales, which is definitely not a bad lead matchup here for me at all, as Drought is going to activate there for Ninetales. And yeah, that's perfectly fine with me here. I'm going to double protect. Oh, I can't protect. Gengar does not have protect. Let's see. I'm going to Sludge Bomb the Ninetales here, and I'm going to protect the Clefable from a potential fake-out overheat play from the Ninetales. I don't want Clefable taking any damage this first turn because I wanted to get the Moonblast off against Sableye the following turn, but we're not going to see a fake-out coming out from Sableye, so I'm wondering what it went for. Flamethrower does go into the Gengar. Are we going to see a foul play onto my Gengar as well? Oh, as its Life Orb Ninetales, wow. Knock off into the Clefable, okay. So that's fine. I would have gotten rid of my Citrus Berry, but now I can just Sludge Bomb Ninetales once again and Moonblast, and there's really not much my opponent can do right now. I don't know. You can switch out Ninetales maybe, but Sableye's knockoff's not going to do anything against the Clefable, and I can just Moonblast it to oblivion. Ninetales can switch out, but I don't know. I'm in the position where I can pick up 2 KOs in the same turn, and that's always the ideal position you want to be in VGC when you can get a lot of momentum by setting up 2 KOs for 2 turns, because you basically force your opponent to have your last 2 in the back. And yeah, so I do just get the free Sludge Bomb knockout here. So Sableye actually went for the Will-O-Wisp onto Gengar. Not really sure why. I mean, I guess you pick up the KO there and prevents it from... At least it does something before it gets knocked out here by the Moonblast. But both of my opponent's Pokemon going down. Gengar is going to go down here, but I'm actually fine with that because it means I get the free switch into the Gallade, which I've got in the back. Not the Gallade, the Salamence. Excuse me. I might try out Gallade in the future because it's a really good check to Kangaskhan, which is obviously really common in VGC. But so far, Salamence is the Mega I've been liking a lot. So Gardevoir's going to come in here, which definitely is scary. I was hoping I could knock it out in the beginning, but we're going to see Gardevoir and Talonflame come in for my opponent here. And that's definitely a scary, position that I'm in right now, but I can just Double Edge and Double Edge the Gardevoir and Rage Powder, or follow me with Clefable. So I'm just going to do that, honestly. And the follow me prevents it from being, Scarf Gardevoir going for the Moonblast, but given that I'm max attack and Gardevoirs are not exactly the most bulky Pokemon defensively, I think I'm fine here. I guess the fear is a Protect coming out from Gardevoir and a Tailwind coming out from the Talonflame, but we'll see. But it's actually Mega Gardevoir, which is cool. Definitely cool to see. I do like Sylveon more, but Gardevoir is definitely a viable option, as it does go for the Protect, so maybe Talonflame did go for the Tailwind here, which would make this game a lot more difficult. So this is actually really interesting. Did Talonflame go for the Tailwind? It did! Nice, nice, nice. So my opponent just turned this into a match, that's for sure. As Double Edge is going to fail against the Gardevoir there. Huh. Very cool. I should have predicted that. That was the one play that could have gotten my opponent back into this game, and what do you know, it made it. So now Gardevoir is definitely going to want a Dazzling Gleam. So I'm going to protect the Salamence here and Moonblast the Gardevoir. That should put it in Sucker Punch KO range for the Bisharp, which I've got in the back. But this is interesting. Oh, Will-O-Wisp actually went onto the Salamence instead, and the Hyper Voice has come out. Interesting. Was not expecting Will-O-Wisp. I thought it would just maybe go for a Brave Bird, but hey, I'm fine with that. I get the Moonblast onto Gardevoir. Wow, I actually decreased its special attack too, so that's actually gonna basically ensure the game, I think. Since I don't think Hyper Voice is a KO anymore, I can just Double Edge Gardevoir and follow me for any Will-O-Wisp potential shenanigans. But yeah, let's see. As Talonflame does go for the Will-O-Wisp once again, so I don't know, I think when you're using Talonflame at this position, you should just be Brave Birding to get all offense, but we'll see how much this Hyper Voice does at -1 special attack. And as I said, it is going to allow me to hang on with that Salamence, so that was definitely a really timely and helpful my special attack drop. I was not expecting that. I was expecting to have to outplay my opponent in the end with Bisharp and a Clefable, but instead I do get a lucky special attack drop. So it did end up being a lot closer than I thought the match might have been, you know, just because the first 2 turns, you know, I just picked up 2 knockouts immediately. So I should have played a bit better in the end, knowing that my opponent's only real way to get back into the game was to, you know, use Talonflame. So, but you know, you never know, because Scarf Gardevoir was also a potential thing for my opponent. So it ended up working out against me, but that special attack drop was pretty, you know, helpful. Now I can just knock off and follow me. And Talonflame probably gonna go for a Brave Bird, maybe the Flare Blitz, but it doesn't matter since Clefable is so bulky as it continues to spam Will-O-Wisp, and Bisharp's gonna get this knockoff off. Wow, that's a really defensive Talonflame. Did it not have an item? Like, it's gonna go for another knockoff and follow me. I mean, there's nothing my opponent can really do right now. If it goes for, I mean, it might want to Roost, I guess, but we'll see. Oh my gosh, it does have Roost. Oh, this is interesting. This is certainly interesting. I mean, it's slowly losing HP every turn, but you know, actually, I'm just gonna Helping Hand knock off here. If it goes for the Will-O-Wisp, oh well, the fear is now it goes for the Flare Blitz here into Bisharp. Tailwind, Roost, Will-O-Wisp. I mean, I don't know. If the last one's Brave, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna make the safer play for the first couple of turns. Scout out what this Talonflame's last attack is. If it's Brave Bird, then Bisharp can just freely knock off. It's gonna have to continue to Roost basically at this rate. So. Roost Talonflame, that's a special one, that's for sure. Bulky Talonflame is not exactly too common, but a lot of players actually use it to good success. Jody, who finished 2nd at Worlds this year, brought it to Nationals. And you can see their Talonflame is taking more damage than it's healing back every turn, so there's really nothing my opponent can do because it's just going to faint eventually from the Follow Me knockoff. So you know, I'm perfectly fine continuing with it. Let's see. Yep, it just continues to go for Roost. So I'm wondering, I think even if I didn't get the special attack drop there onto the Mence, I could have protected Clefable. Let's see, as knockoff still isn't KO'd, but I think it's going to KO here. Yeah, I could have protected the Clefable the following turn, sack the Salamence, and then Bisharp would be able to come in for free. Then I could just follow me with Clefable and Sucker Punch the Gardevoir for the KO. So I don't think it really mattered in the long run, but depends on whether Sucker Punch would have picked up the knockout there on Gardevoir. So I'm just going to continue following me and knock off in here. And yeah, I mean, it's just really stalling the inevitable right now. We do see Acrobatics come out finally, but that does nothing to Clefable as I get the knockoff and KO Talonflame. So definitely one of the more interesting Talonflame sets I've seen. Acrobatics itself is really rare, but I mean, that makes sense for why I didn't have an item, which I guess I missed in team preview. But yeah, that's going to be another win for me today. So 2 wins to start off Season 8, which is always exciting, but obviously rating is still lower, so hopefully I'll be able to climb up higher and get matched with higher rated opponents. But they were a lot of fun teams and new Pokemon that I haven't seen before, so you know, that's always exciting, and it's fun to play against Pokemon you don't get to play against very often, since, you know, when you get on the top of the ladders, a lot of times the teams are relatively similar. I do think this VGC format is pretty diverse, so we do see a lot of cool things work, but yeah, you know, it's definitely a fun way to kick the season off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, I'll be bringing a lot more content this weekend. I'll be working on new teams, be doing a team analysis on the Premier Challenge team, Thunderous analysis, etc. So keep your eyes open for that, and yeah, that's it for today's episode, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, Peace.